I'd like to begin with the Volunteer Academy. I read in Wikipedia that in 1990, at the age of 18, you traveled to Bradenton, Florida, to spend the week at the Volunteer Training Academy. After which you decided to turn professional. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. Not everything you find on Wikipedia is true, but this is true.
Okay.
Yeah, what happened is at that time that was one of the biggest academies in the world. You know, Andre Agassi was there, Jim Courier, you know, Anna Kournikova, these girls. So for me, I saw this like a dream, you know. So I had the chance that my parents, they could afford to pay for only 1 week. So it was very expensive. And when I got there, you know, I arranged myself to do some work to pay for my stay there. So at the beginning I was a coach, you know, for 6 months. So I could practice in the morning, and then I was helping coaching in the afternoon. And after that, you know, I organized myself to only work at night. So I was working from 6 to 11, looking out for the kids and this, and I could stay for free. So for me it was a perfect situation. You know, I stayed there almost 2 years playing tennis every day. It was like being in the paradise, you could say. You know, like 80 tennis court, tennis players everywhere, and that was what I was looking for.
Okay. So actually it was the second question, but you already answered it. Okay. In 1999, you won your first top-level singles title in Amsterdam. Tell me about your feelings, because it was your first top-level title.
Yes, I played many finals before that. You know, I think 6 or 7 finals of the big tournaments, and I lost. The final is something very special because, you know, you're happy to be in the final, but you need every time one more step. So it took me a while. It took me like a few finals. You know, first I had the chance to win in Amsterdam. And you know, you play a whole career, and some players, they're struggling to win one title. So when I did it, you know, I got kind of relief me. I said, now I am capable to go until the end. So it was a great feeling. You know, it was on clay, and you know, that week the tennis was perfect. I beat Marat Safin in the semi-finals, and I beat Franco Esquilari, the Argentinian, Zabaleta also. So that was almost I could believe after that you know, I'm capable of winning finally a tournament.
Okay. The following year you reached the quarterfinals of the Australia Open, where you lost to Evgeny Kafelnikov. You won your second top-level title in 2001 at Bucharest. You were runner-up in Amsterdam that year, losing in the final, which was the year's longest 2 final. You were also runner-up in Lyon, defeated by Ivan Lubicic in the final. El Aynaou kept two titles in 2002, Doha, Munich, and reached the quarterfinals of the US Open. The following year, you reached the quarterfinals of the Australian and US Open and finished the season ranked career high world number 14. It was the brightest time in your career, I think, right?
Yes, I was pretty late because I was already more than 30 years old. And you know, I think I started a little bit later because until 18 years old I had to go to school. You know, so I guess, you know, I used myself more at the end. You know, I didn't play too much tennis when I was 16, 17, 15. And when I was 30, I was still very happy to play. You know, a lot of time you see some players, they play too much when they are juniors, and when they get older, they have enough already. For me, I achieved my best ranking with the 31 years old. And yes, that year was amazing. You know, the Grand Slam is where every player wished to play well, you know, and I had the chance to play 2 quarterfinals, one in the beginning of the year in Australia, and then one at the end of the year in US Open. So that was the best year of my career, and really with also that quarterfinal match with Evgeny Kafelnikov was, I think he won the tournament that year, and you know, it was just, you know, so nice to play against such big players in such big tournaments on the center court. You know, this is what players are training for and dreaming of.
Right. And I'd like to find out, you're 14. I mean, could you go higher, or did you feel that it was your limit?
Actually, I was not believing myself, you know, when I found myself. Yes, you know, if somebody would have told me when I was a coach in Boliteri that, you know, one day I would be 14, I would not have believed him. You know, it's going so fast once you're in the tournament. You know, you cannot really enjoy your ranking because you have so many points to defend and another tournament to come. So you're just focusing on the next tournament. And as you know, the year is going so fast. I wouldn't say that the pressure is less or more, but you know, it's the same as a lower ranked player. You have a lot of points to defend, so a lot of stress. And afterwards, you know, you can always think maybe I would have done better. But thank God, you know, I'm happy about that ranking I achieved. I see the other players, they were also very talented, very strong field at that time, you know. So, you know, I would say I'm happy with what I've done.
Okay, great. Longest Grand Slam fifth set. The most famous match of El Aynou's career came in the quarterfinals of the Australian Open in 2003. In the round of 16, you defeated the world number 1, Leighton Hewitt, in a very high quality match. Thus setting up a quarter-final showdown with the up-and-coming American Andy Roddick. The 5-set, 5 hours match included their longest fifth set in Grand Slam tennis history. Roddick won the battle 21-19 in the fifth set. Both players saved match points before the fifth set ended. Tell me about this match a little bit.
Yes, it's that's basically the match when the people, you know, most enjoy around the world. I've even heard some people saying, yeah, we saw a young Moroccan playing in Australian Open, but it was already 15 years, you know, I was on the tour. And yeah, I was feeling great the match before already, and I would say this is the first time I arrived 4 times in the quarterfinal, but this one was the first time when I was fresh before that quarterfinal. Usually, you know, I played match in 5 sets, so I arrived like against Kafelnikov. I was a bit tired after, you know, many matches, but this time I was fresh. I wanted to win very bad, you know, maybe to go for the first time in semi-final, but you know, it was tough to break Roddick's serve. And you know, after this, it was a nice match. You know, we kept our serve like until 19-all in the 5th set. And these are great memories. You know, the Australian Open is a great tournament. It was a night session on the center court. So these are the moments, you know, I was lucky to be involved in. And you know, I wish any tennis player to have the chance to play such a match in this tournament.
And the last thing, I'd like to ask you 10 short questions, and I'd like to hear short answers. Okay? What is your idea of perfect happiness?
Oh, it's a day spending with my family, you know, with my kids. I have 4 boys now, so you know, that's what I enjoy. Thank you. But I enjoy the most, you know, just do simple things, you know, maybe pick them up from school and spend the evening with them.
Okay. What is your greatest fear?
My greatest fear? It's, I guess, to be unhealthy myself, or you know, anybody from my family. You know, I hope everybody stays healthy, and basically, yes, health.
Okay. What is the trait you most deplore in yourself?
Maybe I am stubborn sometimes. You know, if I think this is good, I will go for this, even if some people give me advice. I will still want to do this, and sometimes I can be wrong.
Okay, I see. What is your current state of mind?
I'm happy. I'm very happy, you know. I'm happy with my job. I'm happy also with my family.
Okay. Which talent would you most like to have?
Musician. You know, I think it's great. It's something great, you know, to play music. It's relax the soul, and other people can enjoy. So I wish I could have been able to play any instruments, piano or guitar. Or
If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
Maybe get some muscles, not to be too skinny.
Okay. What do you consider your greatest achievement?
I guess it's my tennis career. You know, that's what I wished for. You know, I dropped everything on the way. You know, I just focused on one thing. I gave a lot of sacrifice, and I was lucky, you know, to reach where I wanted.
Where would you most like to live?
You know, I've been traveling a lot, so I could feel comfortable in many places. You know, of course, I like the beach. I like to surf. You know, so I like to be around the ocean. You know, but I'm not that difficult. You know, I can live in Africa or in Europe or also in South America without any problem.
Okay. What is your greatest regret?
Maybe if I would have practiced earlier,
Yeah.
you know, maybe start to have the chance to practice when I was younger, you know, like playing tennis every day when I was 15, 16. But you never know, maybe I would have been, you know, over too much tennis, maybe sometimes it's also not so good. So there's nothing really special I regret.
Okay. And the last question, what is your motto?
Motto?
Yeah, it's like slogan, maybe.
Practice hard, you know, and just play hard, you know, give all you got.
Okay. So it was Younes El Aynaou. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Spasiba.